Hey, today we're talking about anise or aniseed myrtle, and yes, that comes from the myrtle family. There is a huge number of varieties of myrtle here in the land of Amaroo that I'm residing in while I'm recording this, and this one has a really interesting flavor combination that sits very similar to aniseed. So it's a combination very much of a myrtle flavour and aniseed combined together. Grown from the one plant, of course. It is an Australian native plant, and it's often found in sort of the far northeastern areas of Australia. So being in Queensland is probably the prominent state that you would find this naturally growing. It's a rainforest plant, and on the coast of Queensland, it's very much the climate. It goes from subtropical at the bottom of Queensland all the way up to the top. It gets warmer, being in Amaroo, Australia, we're in the southern hemisphere, so the further south you go in the lands, the colder it gets. The further north you go, the warmer it gets. So this plant would normally grow between 3 to 8 meters, depending on soil, water, how much space as well is around the plant for it to be able to flourish and grow. Now, before I get further into this vlog, I want to remind you, I'm not a medical practitioner. If you are breastfeeding and or pregnant and or on medication, obviously err on the side of caution when introducing a new plant into your body and into your space. So there is a universal allergy test that you can do, and depending on the severity of a condition that you have, you may wish to consult your medical practitioner and the other holistic practitioners that you are also working with as well. So the nutrients of this plant are often quite high in vitamin A, vitamin E and vitamin C, not vitamin A. I'm sure there still is some elements of vitamin A in there. It's got folate, lutein, it has high amounts of zinc, calcium, magnesium and chlorophyll. Now often this would be consumed by eating the leaves or using the leaves in a tea. So you could have the fresh leaves in a tea, or you would obtain them dry. You might pick them and dry them, make them into a tea, or you could dry them up and then grind them down into more of a powder form and then use it in your cooking. You can use it for flavouring all kinds of foods. You may also be able to cook with them fresh too. Maybe if you're making a dish that has a lot of liquid in it, you might want to put the fresh leaves in with the liquid. Otherwise you would mostly use the leaf dry in modernity day cooking. Now the kinds of properties and things that this plant may assist with, I'm going to go through that here. I'm not saying it's going to cure anything, I'm just saying it may assist you with your journey of preventative and or releasing of any kind of conditions that you may have. So it's often known to be quite antimicrobial, antibacterial and antifungal. You'll find that actually quite a lot of plants grown in Australia, especially in Queensland, a lot of them actually have a lot of those properties, if not one, sometimes all the way up to the 3, which is great. It's got quite a cleansing element to a lot of the plants here, and that some of them have a very similar scent, which is quite interesting. Excuse me. A lot of it has quite a citric kind of scent, I've noticed with a lot of the native plants here. Not all, but it's something that I'm starting to notice a theme of in some of the native plants. Again, depends on where you are in Australia. There's actually quite a large variety of plants and types of geography and climate here too. So yes, other things that this plant can assist with is indigestion, intestinal cramps. It can assist with reducing stress, It's known to be quite anti-inflammatory, can boost your immune system, has quite a lot of antioxidants as well. Can be quite good for respiratory health. It can be quite calming and also uplifting. So depending on what it is, that you are like needing in that moment, hence why it's good for reducing stress, right? It can help alleviate with that calming effect, or if you're in a space where you're actually needing some energy and some upliftment in your mood, then this plant can also help with that. And there's a number of plants I've come across through my research and also experience with different plants, and especially when you start to get into sort of like the tea realm and the spagyrical, like alchemical tincture realm, you can really start to notice certain things. With some plants are actually quite good at doing more than one thing, and almost like the opposite. It offers, like, it could be calming and uplifting, as this is an example, and it really depends on what the body's requiring as to what kind of effect you're going to feel with that. Another example of that is lavender. If you have lavender in what we might consider sort of normal to low doses, it will relax you. But if you have lavender in a very high dose, it actually becomes a stimulant. So it's almost like a juxtaposition that some of these plants can provide, and depending on the dosage and or what it is that the body needs, it almost has its own intelligence as to how to work with you. Just another thing that I really love about the plant kingdom, and I really resonate a lot with the plant kingdom, has its intelligence, and it's like an intelligence that we still have so much more to learn. With the animal kingdom, we can quite easily see, like, how does it move, how does it live. The animals are a lot more sort of like expressive, and I guess there might be even more of a particular interest as the animal kingdom and how it works, for various reasons, whereas the plant kingdom, the way in which the plants move often is very slow, and it's like there's like more layers that you have to get through to really understand how a plant works. Anyway, I've got a few more things I wanted to say that Aniseed Myrtle can be good to assist you with. Another one is it can help with the mental clarity, obviously tying in with the calming and elevating effects from reducing stress. And then it's also known and can be found actually in some skin products because it can help with some skin conditions. So things like acne, irritated skin, and even aging. Some research is being done at the moment as to whether it can help with trying to alleviate the aging effects that the skin would usually go through as the body ages. And then just to touch on briefly, excuse me, I have a drink. In some of the mob, where it's often found, they have their own laws, their own stories, their own relationship with such plants. And for some of the mob, their traditional use with the plant was for the purpose of its vitalizing effect that it can have on the body. If you want to learn more about those lore stories, we're talking LORE here, you'll have to contact local mob, and or also just go and be in the places where these plants are found and talk and get curious, and you may be able to discover some more of their plant lore stories with this plant. I'm not in a position to share anything here about that, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to be releasing another video again next week. It'll be on a different topic, but in a number of weeks after that we'll be coming back round to another uses and benefits video of another plant. So stay tuned for that, or for whatever it is that I release next week, and we'll see you again soon.